This is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNN Live. We're at the Cambridge House Resource Conference 2012 in Palm Springs, California. Standing next to me is Grant Williams, by the way, a writer in the Micro Cap Review magazine, I must say.
Absolutely.
And he is also the management partner of Vulpes Investment Management and a featured speaker at the Cambridge House Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Williams, it's great to have you.
It's good to meet you finally, Shelley.
Yes, it really is, I have to tell you. So, what's on your mind, and what are you speaking about today?
Well, I'm talking this afternoon about the difference between investing and trading in gold and precious metals this afternoon. And the key conceit of this is that there's a difference between the two. If you invest in something, you take a long-term, fundamental-driven attitude to something and you buy it for the longer term. If you trade something, you're trying to make a little 5% here, 5% there. And the way to make real money is to invest in things. Find a good idea that people don't understand yet, invest in it early, and hold it through the cycle. Hold it until the reasons for investing in it change. If they do, it's time to sell it. But if you get corrections along the way, but the fundamentals stay in place, then there's no need to sell these things.
What about surprises?
Well, we've had a few of those in recent years, that's for sure, and they're going to keep coming thick and fast. And that's one of the reasons why you should actually stick to investments throughout. You know, the political upheaval we've been going through, that hasn't actually changed the fundamentals for gold in a negative way. It's actually improved the fundamentals for gold, because this uncertainty is something else that's going to drive people to precious metals. We're going to see a lot of upheaval in the political spectrum, and any agreements that get made in Europe, for example, there's a whole new set of leaders who are going to get voted in on the back of the public's dissatisfaction with austerity, and the chances are they're going to rip up a lot of these agreements that get made. So it's not really going to get any better, I don't think, for a while.
Now I'm going to ask you a really interesting question. How important is having faith in whose philosophy you follow?
Well, I think everyone needs to follow their own philosophy. I mean, you can get advice from people, and there are certainly some very smart people out there offering advice, but ultimately, you know, when you make a decision about what you're going to invest in, you have to be comfortable with your own faith, your own philosophy. So I think it's very important that everybody does their homework, researches ideas, and doesn't just take the word of a guy, a talking head, that so-and-so is a good investment.
Now, what about the investor that says, you know what? I agree with Grant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put aside X as my investment, but I like the excitement of trading, and then I could take, you know, little spurts here and take advantage there, buy in signals, yada yada. But meanwhile, you know, I've got my stock in trade and my investment's safe. What do you think of that?
Well, again, a lot of people do that, and as there is a difference between investing and between trading, then it makes sense to allocate a separate portion of your wealth to each. Trading's not for everybody. It's a difficult thing to do. It's a very difficult thing to do, and particularly on the short side, which is possibly where the advantages are going to appear as markets start to weaken. So I think, you know, if you're going to trade stuff, A, you have to be fully aware of how difficult it is. B, you have to be aware of the risks involved in doing it, and C, you have to have a cast iron stomach, frankly.
What are we trading? If and when we trade, are we trading paper, or are we trading physical delivery, or are we chasing down stock trades with high volume and good liquidity?
Well, I think if you're going to trade, you probably trade the paper, because the whole idea of trading is you can get in and out in a hurry. If you're going to invest, then I think you want to get the physical bullion or as close to it as you can possibly get, and that's really the only way I would do these things.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is brilliant advice. And by the way, I want you to say, not to self-compliment, but I think you're right, and I would do the same thing. And I think your advice to investors is very prudent, and find out more when you go to the website that Grant's about to give you.
It's not a website, but if you can email me at ttmygh@me.com, and I'll just sign you up for the newsletter.
It's easy. Is the newsletter free?
It absolutely is, yeah.
There's all the more reason to go and find out more information. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Williams, Vulpes. And what does Vulpes stand for?
It's the Latin word for fox.
Aha! Let's chase the rabbit, ladies and gentlemen. Vulpes Investment Management, and a featured speaker at Cambridge. Grant.
Pleasure, Shelley.
And I can't wait for your next article to read in the Micro Cap Review magazine.
Looking forward to it.
You got it.
Thanks.